Hello again there, YouTube fans. This is the real Creepy Doll Man here. I'm back with an all-new episode. It is November the 29th of 2019. Time is now 10:17 p.m. Okay, this will be a Thanksgiving Day treat for all you fans out there. I was supposed to bring it before Thanksgiving, but I decided to bring it today for this Black Friday, what's left of it. I say if you're out there doing Black Friday, be safe what you buy. Another thing is be careful out there and shop safe, and please do not, intimidate others to fight on this Black Friday. Now, today's episode is The Real Creepy Doll Man from Louisville, Kentucky tells another true story. Now, The Real Creepy Doll Man goes back in the day. That The Real Creepy Doll Man will say this. Back in the day, in the year 1975 or 1976, meaning 1975, 1976. Back in the day, the Real Creepy Doll Man had a real name. And what happened is I lived on this one little street, which is 116 Waverly Court, here in Louisville, Kentucky, and the zip code was 40206 at the time I was living there. I was only a child back in the day. But I decided to say this, that the Real Creepy Doll Man did, in fact, had his very first doll. Now, what happened to that doll today remains a mystery. But the Real Creepy Doll Man says this. I had the doll, and I'll give a description of what the doll looked like. It had curly hair. It was either brown or dishwater blonde. Meaning a dirty blonde, or it could have been red. And it had the sleepy eyes, and this is one of the older dolls. It was made not vinyl, but rubber. And I don't know if the whole body was rubber or not, because it's been a while since I had the doll. And it had a yellow dress. Maybe it could have been yellow, or it was probably a yellow plaid dress. And it had a matching pair of shorts to go with the same color. And I had the doll for a very short time. In my time, I had to play with the doll back in the day. And I kept it for a very short time. So what happened was that I used to play with it a lot before I got into, cars, trucks, and action figures, because I gave up the doll afterwards. But before I gave it up, I did this one stupid thing when I was a kid back in the day. I threw the doll down the stairs, and then what happened is I decided to roll down the stairs right behind the doll. And as I did so, I kind of bruised myself and messed myself up in the day. I was lucky I didn't break my neck, or worse, had cuts or bruises. I lived to tell the tale, but got hurt by having a little bit of bruises, and I felt the pain. And then after that, playing with the doll for a while was a good thing, but then I decided probably down the road I only had it for 2 or 6 months before I gave up the doll. And it was a very tough decision because I had a lot of toys back in the day. And then I got into the Popeye dolls. And then I got into action figures like the Star Wars, which came out like 1977. And I got into the Battlestar Galactica figures that came out first before that. And they came out, I think, 76. And I had my first lineup of them. And I started playing with action figures and cars more. In time, I had to make a choice. I got rid of my very first doll. And my mom taught me to donate it to the Salvation Army, which I did. To this day, where is that doll today? Nobody truly knows. The doll could be anywhere today. Uh, I have no clue where the doll is. I would definitely like to get my hands back on the doll, but since the doll's gone, somebody out there owns a piece of the day of the real creepy doll man. Whoever owns that doll owns a piece of the creepy doll man. And I got rid of it, like I said, at the Salvation Army. It was located over here on Payne Street, here in Louisville, Kentucky. Zip code was 40206. I don't know the number offhand on the rest, but it used to also be a boys and girls uh, place where boys and girls could play. And it was only there for a short time before they closed it down. Down the road, I thought this would, very end, but then down the road, up to about somewhere about, I would say, I have told this story so many times about my very first doll, which I told everybody Cheyenne was my first doll. But the truth is, my first doll was the actual one I had before Cheyenne. And it was the one I had when I was only 3 or 4 years old, back in 1975 or 1976. Now, whoever owns that doll today has a piece of me, because that's about like a 35-year-old or a 40-year-old doll to this day. It's a pretty old doll. So where the doll ends up now, I don't know. But I got assessed, like I said, with the real Annabelle, it got this whole mess started. Being obsessed with the real Annabelle got me into owning my very first new haunted doll, which is Cheyenne the Haunted Doll, which I wasn't the first haunted doll, because Queen came before Cheyenne. Was the very first porcelain piece, but I had other dolls besides that. So whatever happened triggered this, and I thought, yeah, I would have been fine, but after that, the real creepy doll man's memories actually decided to come back. And I guess in regret that I had losing the doll got me into this whole mess collecting, cursed, haunted, and possessed dolls. And getting into the haunted, cursed, haunted, and possessed dolls are totally different compared to the one I had back in the early 70s, which was just an ordinary doll and nothing, attached to it. But after that, I did have to worry what would come next. And doing so, I made a decision that I have now decided, I have kept on collecting the dolls. I have got grown world famous with a name that everyone knows now as the Real Creepy Doll Man from Louisville, Kentucky. Or you could call me the Real Creepy Doll Man for short, thanks to a woman I met at Kroger's many years ago, when I showed the very first video of Cheyenne the Haunted Doll's first appearance as an orb spirit in the picture. Down the road, I thought this would end, but sad to say, something has triggered me to remember the old doll from the past. And now the Real Creepy Doll Man is going to say this. The Real Creepy Doll Man would like to get the doll back after all these years. Finding the doll would not be easy. I do kind of worry, where is the doll to this very day? Who owns it? Is it a he or she? And have they upgraded the doll by having it fixed and sent to the doll doctor? That remains a mystery, but yes, I would love to have my original doll back, because that was not just, I'm giving up something that someone thinks is not worthy of that. There are people who throws away dolls without understanding that I gave up a piece of me in that doll when I gave it up. And now I regret the day that I gave it up, because I have feelings, because it was a part of me that I have gave up. It's like one of my children that I have gave up. And now I'm looking for it after all these years. I say a plea to anyone out there watching this video now, for real, that I am looking for the doll to this very day. I like to be reunited with my doll and, bring it back to Louisville, Kentucky again. Finding the doll is not going to be so easy. Who the new owner will be may not be so nice to me, but I would love to have it back It's one that was a part of me, and it's a piece of me that I gave up, which I wish to come back, like one of my children here. And I treat them like my children, even though they're only a spirit attached to the dolls. And you're giving up something, you care for and you love. So I made that error. And that's all I have to say for this ordeal, because I know I made a mistake back in the day. But I have moved forward now. There's still to be the real creepy doll man for all those out there who do not know me. A lot of people have met me on the street but probably don't recognize me. But as you see this video now of me, the way I look, you may recognize me with a beard or without a beard, as I am now, like this. Watch more to come from the real creepy doll man, because the real creepy doll man's coming up with new videos coming of next month. Watch more to come. And this is the real creepy doll man saying goodbye. And God bless you all.